Good morning, everybody. What's going on? It's Anthony from The Daily Truth, the truth in 5 minutes or less. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Please give some time to jump on, put some comments in the chat box, things you might want to hear me talk about, and we'll get right into this. So join, hit the like button, hit the share button, do all the things with the buttons. I don't even know. Today's topic, if you're a Netflix watcher in any kind, is regarding Dave Chapelle. And the truth is, the Dave Chapelle last special wasn't very good. It wasn't his best work, but there's more to that. It's not just the truth about how I feel or my critique of his work. What was it called? It was called The Dreamer. Dave Chapelle, The Dreamer, came out right at the end of the year. Just watched it a couple nights ago. So here's the long story short. It was Dave doing storytelling, which is what he always does. He didn't have the typical sharp punchlines that I think we've come to get used to. But fact is, it's got an 85% score on Rotten Tomatoes, not because it's great, but simply because it's Dave. So the truth today is not just about my personal critique of the show, of his comedy, 1 hour comedy special, that when it was over, I was like, I think he told like 4 jokes total. All of it was just mixed into a bunch of storylines, and people just laugh because it's Dave Chapelle, and they know that whatever he is doing is funny because he is one of the greatest. He is one of the GOATs of stand-up comedy and comedy across the board. He's brilliant, and his comic timing is unmatched. And actually, the comic timing that he's so good at is what made this even a decent special as is. But the lesson behind all this is, if you can make yourself, and whatever your career is, build yourself a reputation that you are so good that sometimes, even when you might maybe miss the mark or be imperfect, people know how good you are, so they're going to respect the work that you put out there no matter what. And again, I'm not saying that this was bad by Dave Chapelle. It just wasn't Dave Chappelle-esque, to be totally honest. So when you start thinking, first off, watch it. It's still very good, because here's the other thing. He's a comedian that literally did a stand-up that almost could double as motivational speaking, essentially talking about Dreamer. His last story was very specific about how he grew up and he almost got in this bad, and he had some comedy mixed in with it, how he was in this bad situation and then ended up where that was the lesson he learned about how he could be a dreamer and how he could be this kid that was, things weren't going right for him at 13, 16, whatever years old he was. And here he is back at pretty much the biggest place that you could possibly want to be a comedian at, in the middle of this stage, with any place he goes, 20,000 people selling out. So that's why the name Dreamer, it fits. It's actually more of a 60-minute pep talk to people with some comedy inserted. It's not the funniest, but again, he has given himself the right, because he has worked so hard. He's been so good at it for so long and considered one of the greatest, that he can talk about whatever the hell he wants to talk about. People are going to find it funny. People are going to review it well. People that, I mean, he definitely has his detractors based on some of the subject matter that he talks about when he punches down. The beginning, to be honest, the first 10 minutes were the funniest part. And then after that, it was just kind of these slow-moving stories, but giving some interesting insight to his life. So that's the gist for today. Pretty simple stuff. So again, less than 5 minutes, kept it nice and short and sweet. That is the Daily Truth today. I was considering talking a little bit political, and maybe that'll be where we go tomorrow if we know a little bit more about the list from the Jeffrey Epstein that is coming out. But again, I just have some opinions on that are, we're not going to get really the list. That might be the truth. We'll see what happens tomorrow for Truth Talks, Daily Truth, in 5 minutes or less. We'll see what happens for Friday. With that said, guys, why we have no internet? Why is it so choppy? There we go. All right. So what was I going to say? There it is. I got distracted. theartofdoubling.com/5 steps getting unstuck. The free video is working. There is the stuff that's after it is not really working yet, but you have to put in information. That's it. It's a free 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 steps getting unstuck here in 2024. I hope you take advantage of it. Everybody have a great rest of your day. God bless. And remember, the truth will always set you free. And what do I say about the pets now? What's going to be my new slogan? Don't abandon your pet. Don't be a crappy human. Take it easy.